What's up, everyone? All right, so before I start, I want to pay my respect and acknowledge the traditional owners of the land. And I feel blessed to be here today. So, yeah, let's do this. Is that really loud? Yeah. I mean, I'm happy to play, but I don't want to kill your ears. You good? Yeah. How you going? You good? So how you going? Tell me, are you really good? Cause that is strange. Saw the world from a living room, and it's insane. It's changed from when I was a kid with them piss stains on the mattress, studying the atlas wasn't in vain. I got grown, got the travel bug and traveled in planes. Then it hit me, modern slavery was never in chains and in flames. Then everybody burns in the night. I saw that everybody's searching for light. We need a chance, we need them hands to make life work. We need to make a sacrifice, though it might hurt. But every time I'm on that path, I diverge. I'm like I'm busy, I'm just trying to sort my life first. What does it mean? Well, I guess I never found the point. Cause I spent too much time passing around a joint. But I feel it calling me closer. It doesn't matter if I am a smoker, if I'm doing what I feel like I'm supposed to. I'm overzealous fellas, watching when they sell us terrors, telling us it's better measures, thinking that we're Helen Kellers with our cerebellums. Let us speak. I know they don't hear us, but still they fear us. Let us eat. Planning their escape, you know they're trying to get a seat to take off, but they break off and they take off and take off. Their lungs are made of the money they made off them. What's the fate of them? You really think they're greater men? They only know the 1%, and I'm coming under rent. So I'm waiting in the cold for the day we're coming for them. We need something to end. The beast summoned again. The killer's gunning the man, and he's running again. How you really feeling, my friend? 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 You know, I was trying to figure out like the right way to put together a set for something today for what to work, and I figured what I'm gonna do. You know, normally when I'm playing with True Vibes, I play with my brother. Here's my twin brother right there. I'm about to tell some stories. It's pretty heavy shit, but it's true. And you know, normally we're always just bouncing around and fucking smiling and shit, and I'm gonna keep it a little bit heavier. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so my name's Vulli. It's actually short for Vuli Ndlela, and it's a Zulu name. It comes from Zimbabwe in southern Africa. And when I was born, my mother was from Australia, and she came to Zimbabwe, and where she met my father. And when we were born, at that time, it wasn't fashionable to have colored children. And when we first my parents were really heavily involved in the anti-apartheid movement. For those of you who don't know what the apartheid was, long story short, in South Africa, and still to this day, like they separate black people, white people, and colored people. And you won't see black people in the same schools, white people in the same schools, colored people in the same schools, neighborhoods, everything. And it's still like that, you know. And so growing up, when we first came to Australia, a lot of my parents were printers, and so they'd print leaflets for rallies. And so we sort of grew up in this environment. When we first came here, a lot of the exiled people who couldn't stay in South Africa because their lives were in danger for fighting against racism would come and stay at our house. And this is the context that we grew up in, you know. So when I first started to get into hip-hop, because the reason I'm saying this I'm getting around to it, because you know, BBQRAP here, we talk about this idea of, you know, a very particular strain. I'm telling you what, I don't know what the fuck barbecue raps are, but I don't do it. So, so you know, I grew up in this really, what I would say, describe as a politically charged environment. And when we were little and we first came here, both of my parents died in a car accident, and I was raised by my stepmom. And so our whole life, didn't have any black role models to turn to, and so the black role models came from hip hop. And it wasn't 50 Cent shit. It was Talib Kweli and Mos Def, and this was like the roots. You know, it's the roots to my education. Of be able to see people that reflect who I look like and my family look like, and being able to learn and use that. And you know, hip hop has been one of my biggest educators, and that's why I love it. All right, I'm gonna keep it a bit chilled.
definitely live.
One job!
Just broke the left under the bus, it's all good. I'm looking.
1, 2. Fuck it, I'll just keep going until it dies, hey? Yep. Easy. I want to sit down because it feels right. Hey. It's fast becoming one of my favorite things to do. Escape the world's depressing, the younger people progressing, have too much food on their plate. And when it's time to eat, sponsor politicians and seats keep us distracted. Scraps are all we're paid in a week. They want to target the Arabs for some shit they didn't do. They want to target the refugees for legally coming through. They want to target the poor as if their struggle isn't true. And you'll probably do nothing until they're targeting you. Fuck a conspiracy, basic logic of industries based on stopping and limiting people and their ability to grow. To the top of the pyramid of Maslow means figure it for yourself or make their dreams come true for dough. Don't know about you, but shit, I'm sick of it. Everybody's significant, but dreaming less, caught in stress in the thick of it. Feel pressure, no pleasure, no leisure. So there's a reason that depression and anxiety is so stellar. Turn to the church and I'll tell a brother to pray. Turn to the psych, they'll tell you take 2 pills a day. Turn to the drugs and your life will wither away. So I turned to my heart, listen to what it had to say. It said, Vulli, don't you know that you're gonna make a difference? Won't you flow anyway, but you can't give them closure. So many moments when we listen closer, we escape over and out. Over and out. Over and out. Yeah. Okay, we good? This is a bit better? All right. Okay, cool. So this next song, I really wanted to play today. Actually, it's I guess it's about it's kind of about my life. I guess so. Yeah, when we first came to Australia and we lost our parents, and then that's a secret. So yeah, it was pretty hectic actually, to be honest, because my mother's family was so traumatized by the whole experience, and to be honest, they were kind of ashamed that they had black kids in their family, and so we never really heard from them. But we always heard from my family in Zimbabwe, and I've been going there every few years and getting in contact with them, and yeah, since we were little kids, and it sort of makes me realize, like, you know, we didn't do anything, we were just born and shit, you know. And but we grew up with this weird impact that's changed my life. I don't know anyone's mother's family, and I don't think I ever will, and I don't really want to anymore. But you know, that's just some of the realities. And so I wrote this for the kids. I'm a youth worker, you know, and so I think like this. This is how my brain works. Can I get a bit of... So this is an actual sample from one of those wonderful shows. I think it's a current affair or Today Tonight or some shit. But yeah, so much content.
What did he say?
I don't deal with monkeys. Get away, monkey. Get out of this place. Nobody wants you and that monkey. Now get back to where you come from, you black.
I wrote this for the kids, all from this who grew up soon enough, found out what it is, what it was since birth. We all bleed red blood, but the outside color's what they all see first. And just cause of that, some people change what they think life is worth. Draw colored lines and then all the hurt. As a little kid, thought I knew a little bit. Words from a little shit taught me that I can never be the same, something I can never change. Born in a world half white, half black. What's it mean to you? It depends what you see. Do you see what I mean? Like a bad dream, we're killing the same team. No change from all these years. But today these kids came home in tears. They called us ethnics, they called us colored, but we're all colored, so they called us other. You say you know me, like that's a fact. So I react when you treat me like that. Listen, 2 steps back when we ignore it, no steps forward. 2 steps back when we deplore it, 2 steps forward. 2 steps back when we reformers, 3 steps forward. 2 steps back and traces the lines of the map. Look, my truth, my past, my life, migration exists. The world keeps growing, that's the way that it is. No country is a stranger to this. Throw war, throw violence and hate in the mix. Never raising the stakes, not raising the kids. Pushing people down to the raising the tips. Then rewrite the rights and change what it is. Divide and conquer's the aim of the beers. If you don't give a shit, then you're taking the piss. Look to the sky and I'm making a wish. May every single person whose mind's heavy with burden, who's hard working, deserving of a good life. May they feel free to be who they be, to live lives of peace so they could thrive. Then I switch on the news, see the racist views and a little bit of faith in the good dies. They called us ethnics, they called us colored, but we're all colored, so they called us other. You say you know me, like that's a fact, so why react when you treat me like that? Listen, 2 steps back when we ignore it, no steps forward. 2 steps back when we reform it, 2 steps forward. 2 steps back when we reform it, 3 steps forward. 2 steps back and traces the lines on the map. Get out the trap, don't take 2 steps back. Pauline Hanson on TV, that's 2 steps back. They tried to repeal 18C, that's 2 steps back. That douchebag, Trump, that's 2 steps back. It traces the lines on the map. Get out the trap, don't take 2 steps back. Pauline Hanson on TV, that's 2 steps back. They try to repeal 18C, that's 2 steps back. That douchebag, Trump, that's 2 steps back. It traces the lines on the map. Get out the trap, don't take. It's bigger than rhyme, trying to decolonize my mind. Fuck bars, I'm trying to stop kids from seeing bars with my time. Like Fella said, I know be gentlemen. Level up what you're leveling. The world needs reassembling. Perspective needs recentering. There's some of the mission, some of the ambition, some of the driven. Some of the wisdom, some of the vision, most never listen up. Well, that's a tragedy, condition of humanity. I'll steal the crown, parade around like, fuck you, your majesty. The revolution will not be televised. You can find it off your screen if you can pull away your eyes. Deconstruct the lies we all got advertised. This is not a test. Our lifetimes are being monopolized. If you're not taking that, figure out where the fake is at. Figure out who they fake it for, then figure where their make is at. Trace it back, find the ruler, figure where their failures at. Join movers and shakers till we take this generation back. Thank you. So, yeah, I want to do a little experiment. You know, I love rap and I love hip hop, but I also love to put it down and make music. So I'm going to do that for a bit for you. Yeah, sweet. I've got my awesome makeshift shaker. It's a toothpick thing with legumes inside. A great earthy sound. single I released a while back. Thank you. So I got one more. I think as I grow older and start to learn more about myself and more about the world, and just explore and travel, I've realized that I really love what I really love about music is it's universal, and even though we all hear different rhythms and whatever, we all speak the same language deep down. And so I've been really interested kind of recently about trying to express through my music some of the, I guess, experiences I've had, both culturally and whatever. So this is like my attempt to mix like really almost traditional African music with some hip hop. And yeah, I mean, feel free to dance. I think this is kind of what this is about, but maybe even the last one over. So this is actually in Swahili, which they speak mostly in Kenya, and the translation is kind of it means it's like a greeting song. Every time I go back to Zimbabwe and I visit my family, like the first thing that we do when we see each other is we sing and dance. It's like you know when you haven't seen someone for a while, right? And you're like, hey, like that. There's like a formal thing that you do, which is like, hey, 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 hey. It's beautiful. It's the most amazing thing when you haven't seen someone that long and just dance anyway. And so this is a greeting song. This is Swahili, and it means first I see you, second I hear you, third comes action or something, fourth comes joy, and yeah, enjoy. time for. We're about to do a quick cipher just after this, but thank you so much. Hope you have a great Christmas holiday and all that.